Okay, everybody, welcome to week 2 of our training series. This is going to be a little bit more in depth of Twitter this week. And so we're going to hop over here to our slide presentation. So remember last week we talked about the 5 steps to social media success. So today we're going to take a good hard look at conversation on Twitter in particular and how to grow that conversation in such a way that it's not just a one-sided thing. It's not just thinking it's okay to just post and be done. And Soundboard does make that easy for you because Twitter does allow for automatic posting, and we can post for you every day. But please don't think that that's just enough. So what we'll talk about today is how to go out and get involved in ongoing conversations. So the first thing I want to take a look at is the concept of a hashtag. I'm sure you've seen them. They started on Twitter. They've been used across other platforms at this point. Facebook less so, but particularly Instagram and Snapchat and things like that. But what a hashtag does is it is a conversation unifier or a conversation cataloging system. And so when you're using a hashtag as a content creator, the purpose is to get your piece of content included in larger conversations that are going on that you want to be connected to. As a consumer, hashtags make it very easy for you to figure out or follow particular conversation threads without having to go and follow specific accounts. You can search for a hashtag and you can see everything that's going on in the world on that particular conversation. All right, so let's go hop over to Twitter here and show an example of this. This is one it's pretty easy to find a lot of good content on. So just hashtag healthy. So when you make a search for a hashtag, you're seeing every single tweet that includes that particular hashtag. Now, here's an example of somebody who put more than one because they wanted to be found or included in more than one conversation. Now, the point of this is to do this in such a way that allows you to be seen by people who don't follow you. So I don't follow the bulk of what we're about to see here, but also why this is so beneficial is this is where we talked about it a little bit last week, but this is where the size of your Twitter account almost becomes irrelevant, because you can see here we've got an account that's got almost 1,500 followers. And then if we keep going, we've got somebody who has 900. But I bet if we kept going and going and going, we would find, here's somebody who's got 1,000. We would probably find, here's a doctor, somebody that would have, so this person's got over 7,000 followers, and then you'd find somebody that has 12 followers. So the point is that when you're using hashtags well, you are getting exposure far outside of your existing follower network. And so this is how we get your content in front of people who don't know who you are and probably don't know what Juice Plus is. And so this, I want you to think when you go and look at the stuff that Soundboard's doing for you, we're always trying to find existing conversations, active conversations to get you involved in. Diane and I were just talking before we started recording. June is Men's Health Month. So it's a national thing. It's a national movement. You're going to see that hashtag all over the place, hashtag Men's Health Month. We're going to be including you in that conversation, but you can also take steps to include yourself in that conversation by creating tweets that include that particular hashtag. Now, there's a couple of ways to tell active hashtags and how to get involved in them. All right, so first of all, you can do, let's go ahead and do the Men's Health Month and see what we get. You can see other hashtags that people are using alongside of that. So this is an organization about mental health. So they're using that particular hashtag. But you can go and see other parallel hashtags that are being used. So this, we've seen several mental health things here. But there's another thing that's coming up in June, the middle of June, that's going to be all about show us your blue, hashtag show us your blue, trying to get men to wear blue on that day to show their solidarity and raising awareness about this topic to get conversation started. So you'll see a lot of people using those hashtags, but there's some other tools out there that you can use if you're interested in doing this. One is called hashtagify.me. And when you go to hashtagify.me, and this is live search, you never quite know what's going to pop up. So apologies in advance if it gets crazy. So let's go ahead and search for Men's Health Month, because what Hashtagify does is it will show you the activity of that particular hashtag, and then it'll show you other hashtags that are related to that if you want to include yourself in those other conversations, okay? So we've got the Show Us Your Blue, which hasn't been used a lot yet because this is being planned on being used next week. June 16th is the Show Us Your Blue day. But you've got these other things, wear blue, prostate cancer, men's health. So all of these that you see are active hashtags that you can use, and then it shows you the popularity, and 100 is the best. So the larger the sphere is, the more popular it is. So this is a pretty cool site, just at a quick glance to figure out, you know, what's working well and what's trending. The other one that I like to use that's available is called RightTag. And RightTag, I can't remember if it's .com or .org. Yeah, so RightTag.com. And what RightTag does is fairly similar, but it has a little bit more graphical interface here, where you can search for, I can't spell, Men's Health Month. Search for a hashtag, and it'll put you, it'll rank you, it'll show you how many times this has been tweeted. So this is unique tweets per hour, how many times it's getting retweeted, and then how many eyeballs are on it. So this is a little more data centric, but this is another good site for figuring this out. So that is using hashtags. Now, you'll see sometimes you can make them up. I mean, to make one up, all you do is hit pound and then start typing. Don't put spaces, don't put any punctuation in it, and it will just work as long as you keep typing, and then Twitter will turn it into a link. But if you make up your own hashtag and nobody else is using it, you're kind of shouting in an empty room, because nobody knows. If somebody were to actually see it and click on it, because it is a live link, it doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't go to any larger existing conversation. Therefore, it doesn't have the ability to include you in another conversation and get you found. So good thoughts there around using them and then searching for them. Now, to create one, like I said, you just hit pound and you start typing, and then Twitter will offer you suggestions. So I've hit tweet here. So we've already created a search for hashtag Men's Health Month, so it thinks that's what we want to talk about. But you can also just start typing, and it will offer you some suggestions based on where it thinks you're headed. But it doesn't rank these in any way. All that you know is other people are using them, but you don't know how many. So you can use that if you want to, but it's not the single best piece of data. But Twitter will tell you that. Okay, and then like I said, Twitter will automatically turn your hashtag into a link. You don't have to do anything to make that happen. All right, trends. Trends are Twitter's bread and butter, because Twitter moves so fast that if something is going on in the world that is newsworthy, you will be able to follow that story on Twitter faster than anywhere else. So everything from local tornado warnings to, World Trade Center level events, you're going to find out what's going on Twitter. And so there's a couple of ways to do this. First of all, if it's immediate, if you just go to your Twitter home feed, on the left here, they've got trending things here. So of course, Kathy Griffin is still in the news for her photo issues the other day. Hashtag Act on Climate. I guess that has something to do with Trump's talks about the climate accord. Pride 17. I don't know what that's particularly connected to. But then you have some recurring hashtags that are very popular. So Thursday Thoughts is something that you can easily throw something personal, on there and get included in this larger conversation. A lot of times, another one is popular is Throwback Thursday, and you show an old picture of yourself that's embarrassing. Say Something Nice Day. So you can check on Twitter and see World Milk Day. You may have some opinions about dairy. You may want to either argue for or against World Milk Day. So just check on these every once in a while and figure out ways to get involved, both from your personal experience and the things that you care about, as well as how can you tie the healthy living conversation into these larger ongoing trends and conversations. So to be found there on the page, pretty straightforward. And if you clicked on any one of them, it'll take you to all of the tweets about that trend. All right, so we also have some planned trends. We've already mentioned Men's Health Month. This has been planned for months. And so when we're tweeting for you at the soundboard, we're trying to stay ahead of the curve and keep you involved with these kinds of trends. But every kind of awareness organization, from Save the Bunnies to, National Grilling Month, like you see here, has these planned things that they will put out ahead of time. And so you can just search for, Health Months 2017 or health trends hashtags or things like that. And you will find a lot of planned ahead resources. Like August is National More Fruits and Veggies Month. You want to be all over that conversation because you have the solution for more fruits and vegetables. We're doing our part at Soundboard to get you involved, but these are also good things to be aware of, and how to make it more personal to you. Okay, second thing we're going to think through today is audience. How do we leverage our audience, and how do we know what's going on with Twitter involved in growing our audience? Okay, so first thing we need to do is pick up followers. You've heard me say a couple of times that the size of your account really doesn't matter, and that's true, but there's one little threshold that we've got to clear, and that is having 50 followers. If you have less than 50 followers, Twitter's not quite sure either if you're a real account or if you are just an 8-year-old kid that happened to hook up a Twitter account one day and didn't think about it again. So we've got to get you over that hurdle so that you'll show up more frequently in searches. And once you clear that hurdle, I promise you will pick up organic followers a lot more rapidly. So how do you do that? Well, there's a lot of ways to do it wrong and a few ways to do it right. The few ways to do it right are: go follow real people that you're interested in. And the thing that you've got to keep in mind is you have to keep the follower to following ratio in mind when you're checking stuff out. All right, so I just did another search for hashtag healthy. This is a good place to start to follow people that are involved in this conversation. Okay, so we're looking at all these individual tweets here, but all you have to do is hover over somebody's account. And so here we have a health tips account. So there's a couple of important pieces of information we can gather just from looking at this. First of all, this is not a very personalized account, and I can pretty much guarantee you that's a stock photo. So we don't know, because there's no bio here, we don't know anything about if this is a blog, if this is a person, who knows. And this is also an important indicator. So they have about 1,500 followers, but they're following almost 4,000 people, which means they're after growing the size of their account. They're trying to follow people so that they will get followed back to grow the size of their own account. So if you follow this account, I can probably guarantee you that they will follow you back. Okay, so sometimes we do this selfishly, and this is an instance of, I don't really know who this is. I'm probably not going to engage with them. But because of this ratio, we can tell they care about growing this number. So there's no reason not to follow them. All right. So that what you've got to do is, like I said, to have a friend, you've got to be a friend on these platforms. So don't just go follow a bunch of Juice Plus people. You can, but I would encourage you to think past that. All right. So this is probably a Juice Plus person, but we'll still do it, just an example here. Now, if you're interested in something like, your favorite NFL team or Beyonce or something, by all means, go follow those accounts to engage with them and to see what they're doing, but they're not going to follow you back. So you've really got to go find real people to engage with. And that's why something like this, a hashtag healthy search, is probably going to put you in touch with more real people. Because here's, another example of somebody, this person may or may not, but it looks like she's a doctor. It looks like she runs her own account. She says, I deliver these news, but she's got a lot more followers than she's following. So she may be kind of a big deal and she may not follow us back, but you never know. You can always just try. So that's the right way to do this. Yes, it is a little bit time consuming to get started and to get you over that 50 hurdle. But here's what not to do. Do not buy followers. You can buy followers. I think the price has gone up. It used to be like $50 for 10,000 followers. I think it's gone up a lot. But you do not want to do this for two reasons. Reason number one is that you're buying a vanity number. You are not buying real people. You are not buying people who are going to actually engage with you and converse with you. You are not buying more exposure on the platform. You are paying a service to go set up a bunch of fake accounts. They already have all these fake accounts, and they follow you in mass. And so you go to bed one night with 42 followers and you wake up with 10,042 followers. But the bulk of them are in Arabic or Japanese or Filipino. And so it's glaringly obvious to anybody who has the slightest bit of familiarity with Twitter that you have done this. And it actually really looks pretty bad for you. The other thing is this: Twitter knows that you've done it, and because they know what all these fake bot accounts are doing. And Twitter sweeps these bot accounts and will close them in mass. And so sometimes you'll have 10,000 followers and you'll go to bed and you'll wake up and you'll have 7,000 followers because Twitter found the core root of this huge bot network and they closed it all down. Also, Twitter will punish you from a search perspective and from an engagement perspective if you do this, and you will not pick up new real people engaging that want to engage with you because Twitter has made it so that you don't show up in search. So all of that to say, you are going to pick up followers on this platform that you do not know who they are. You are going to pick up followers due to the public nature of Twitter who are offering this service to sell you followers. You are going to pick up a lot of accounts that are selling social media services. But why would you buy that? Because you have me for free. I don't see any examples of this at the moment. But you're just going to pick up followers like this guy, Coach Corey. He helps home business owners with clarity, confidence, connections. Ask me about Twitter coaching. Corey probably follows 20,000 people and has 2,000 followers. So the point is, don't stress about if you pick up random followers. Don't stress out when you pick them up, because you have lots of people on the platform like Paul here who are trying to sell you something. He's trying to sell me more healthy water, whatever that would be. Now, you occasionally will pick up a follower due to the public nature of Twitter and because people are horrible. You will pick up something occasionally that makes you uncomfortable. And if that happens to you, here's what you do. I'm going to pick on Paula here because Paula, you're just trying to sell me social media services. You have a couple of choices. So click on the dots beside the follow button and you get this drop down here. The first three are to connect with that person. We don't want to do that. You have three options. You can mute them, which means they stay in your follower network, but you will not see anything they tweet out. Second option is to block them, and this is what I recommend, which means they cannot see your stuff and they disappear from your screen here, from other people being able to see that they follow you. Now, if it is illicit, and this has only happened to me a handful of times, but if it is illicit or pornographic, you can report it and Twitter will take it down in addition to it being hidden from you. So don't go through your follower list with an axe and just chop anybody who's not your best friend, but do take the time to just check it out every once in a while and see who's following you. And if there's something on there that rubs you the wrong way, by all means, block it because it matters. Back to our concept of branding, it matters. This kind of stuff matters, how people perceive you and how people perceive your account. So take some time to cultivate it a little bit there. Okay, now when it comes to engagement, so over the past 2 weeks, we've talked about how to tweet, how to retweet, how to navigate the platform, and all those weird words that are on there. Now we've looked at how to navigate trends and hashtags and associate yourself with the content that's already occurring on Twitter that you want to be involved with. But this is where so many people, especially if Soundboard is tweeting for you, people do not know what to do or how to make the most of what Soundboard is doing. So what you need to do is stay on top of your notifications. This works on mobile or on desktop. But when you go to your notifications, you're going to see a couple of things. You are going to see who follows you. All right, so today we picked up 5 new followers. Just hover over it, check them out. If it is something that you're interested in, by all means, follow them back. That is just simple Twitter etiquette. This is some kind of news sharing site for entrepreneurs. You might be interested in that. I am not particularly interested in that. But then we've got Shauna, who's, an ABA columnist, a book writer, a speaker, very good person to connect with, entrepreneur, Harvard Law School, my goodness. Brain the size of a planet. We definitely want to connect with her. Lori, we have already followed. Rebecca, we've already followed. And Mandy, let Level pay for your new car. Isn't Level a different direct sales company? Interesting. Anyway, if you wanted to follow that person, you just hit the little person plus here, and that will follow them back. Okay. So that's the first thing to do. Somebody has taken the time who likes your content enough to actually follow you because they want to see more of your content. Okay, this is a high compliment. Now, if you want to start a conversation with them based on this action, what you do is, let's take a look at Shauna here. You go visit their profile and just try to see what about them do you think attracted them to you. All right, so this person just at a quick glance doesn't have a whole lot of healthy living, or this is very businessy. Maybe this person's interested in the business side of things. So either way, and remember, Twitter's very surface, so people do not think this is weird. You can tweet at this person just to make a connection. So I hit the tweet to button down here on her profile. It started the tweet with her name, and you can just say something simple. Thanks for the follow. You are an incredibly busy person. How do you well, how do we say this? How do you make time for you? All right, so let's tweet that to her. She may respond, she may not, but we've thrown a fishing line in the water in a very public, very innocuous, very easy for her to accept way without being weird. Okay, potential connection. Now, the next thing that you can do is go figure out who has interacted with your stuff and what they have responded to. So Allison, she retweeted and liked this tweet about staying hydrated. Okay, so here's a perfect example. Allison is already a Juice Plus person and a Soundboard subscriber, but we'll just still show as an example what to do here. So we know we've got in our brain that it's at the top of her feed here. She retweeted us talking about hydrating. So let's tweet to Allison and say, have any suggestions about getting enough water during a busy work day? And let's ask a question. Let's hit the tennis ball over the net and see if Allison responds. All right, so now what we're doing is we got a new notification. Let's see if somebody, oh, hi. So here's how you make the most of your immediate presence on Twitter. Now, we'll talk more in the coming weeks about how to take that even further. But it is very important that you take the step in at least acknowledging and beginning to engage with people that have engaged with and acknowledge you, because you are leaving connections on the table if you don't take the time to do this, especially if Soundboard is tweeting for you and you don't even know how to log into your Twitter account. You're missing out on some real potential connections there. So friendly reminder, we'll try to stick to our half hour since we were late last time, but if you have not yet signed up for the Soundboard, here is the link. Remember, Soundboard provides social media content for you. Check out our Facebook page. We just posted some new interviews with some Soundboard subscribers who are having wonderful experiences with it. And then box me if you have any questions. Diane, do you have any thoughts, comments, or?
Yes, I actually do. I love being able to hear what you're saying and then go straight to my phone and start working.
Yeah.
It's so cool. That's why I'm like, oh, I need to follow you. I did have a question. You were talking about how Twitter automatically turns your hashtag into a link, right?
Yes.
So does Facebook do that as well?
Facebook does it, but it's harder to see the results of it, because if people post something to just their friend network and they use a hashtag and then somebody clicks on it, it only goes to their friend network. So it works much better if you're using it on a public post.
Right.
Because that way you're getting included in the bigger conversation. But that's why it doesn't work as well.
But and I know like in Instagram, if you hover and click over a hashtag, it takes you to all the other posts that have that same hashtag. But I don't think it does that in Facebook, does it?
I don't think it does. It doesn't do it the same. It doesn't do it very well.
Okay.
As far as cataloging things, let's see.
And the going back to the Soundboard, is that a free service? I know we haven't gotten to that yet, but I'm curious.
Yeah. So let's just head there right now. It is a paid subscription service, but we are a official partner of Juice Plus, so we can do that with their permission. But everything is a 10-day free trial, and then we have 3 plans. This plan for $5 a month is Twitter only, so we auto tweet for you, and that's and that's it. And for some people, that's enough. Then we have this $10 a month plan, which is access to this huge bank of content, and I'll show you how it works real quick. But this huge bank of content, because Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, LinkedIn don't allow auto posting. So there's a place where you can visit, and in just a few clicks, you can easily share content without having to go dig for it.
Got it.
The $15 a month includes access to all that stuff plus the automatic Twitter.
Okay.
And then once you sign up for it, you get a login to this. And so what this is the list of articles, images, and videos that we update every day. And then whatever you pick, I'll show you the first example here. We've got, we put our share buttons at the top, a couple of them, the most popular ones. But then you can scroll down and peruse the article here. And then we also not only give you the article, but we offer some suggested text to go with your post. So not only what to post, but what to say. And then you pick your platform you want to share it on. And you paste in your text. And then you just hit post. And you have good looking content going out.
Cool.
So pretty straightforward. Boom, that's it. And so we've been working, I've been working with Mitra on, we've got Shred 10 stuff in here. Brian Rose gave me the thumbs up on putting Healthy Living Revolution, and Julie Herbst gave me the thumbs up on putting Mission Driven Model stuff. So I even loaded some of that up yesterday. So it's all here.
Prize over, guys. Oh, that's funny. Thank you so much. Thank you. This has been awesome.
Sure. Happy to do it.
So next week, what's our topic for next week?
Next week is leveraging your Facebook friend network and your personal page to prospect.
Awesome. Can't wait.
Okay.
All right.
I'll send you, you know what, Diane?
Yeah.
I did not. No, I did. Never mind.
Yeah, you did.
I did record.
Yeah.